Bruchim habaim, and welcome to another Reled Crash Course video, Purim edition. The story of Purim, Megillat Esther, is located in Ktuvim. Let's begin our story. Welcome to 520 BCE Persia. King Ahasuerus banishes his queen Vashti only because she said no to doing something unreasonable and sexist, which shows us that Ahasuerus, not what you'd call a feminist. Next is the beauty pageant for a new queen. Every woman in Persia is taken from her house and brought to the castle to compete. Esther wins, and Mordecai tells her not to tell Melech Ahasuerus she's Jewish. Her real name is Hadassah, but he tells her to go by Esther. Next, two men named Bigtan and Teresh plot to kill the king. Mordecai overhears and tells Esther, who tells the king. Bigtan and Teresh, dunzo. Haman is appointed as the king's royal vizier, so basically, Jafar. Mordecai won't bow down to him.
Bow to me!
Haha, no. Haman convinces Ahasuerus to order the destruction of all Jews by telling him Jews are disloyal to the kingdom. Then, in order to decide what date to kill all the Jews on, Haman casts lots, or rolls dice to decide when to kill them. That is why the holiday is called Purim, translating to lots. Next, Mordecai finds out that all the Jews are going to be killed and asks Esther to intervene. There was a law in the kingdom that no one could approach the king without being summoned, punishable by death. Esther, needing to do something about the situation, and thus needing to go talk to the king, asks everyone to fast for 3 days prior to her going to the king to ensure that she would not be killed. After the 3 days, Esther did something no one in the kingdom had ever done before. She approached the king uninvited. Miraculously, the king did not order her to be killed. This is the miracle of Purim. Then in the next chapter, Esther invites the king and Haman to come to her feast. After that, at night, Ahasuerus can't sleep. He has his servant read to him the royal chronicle. Fun fact! At first glance, it looks like God seems to be conspicuously absent in the story because there is no mention of the name of God in Megillat Esther. But the rabbis, reading between the lines, found God in the story. When Megillat Esther says that the king can't sleep, it appears to directly refer to King Ahasuerus, but the rabbis infer that Nedada Shnat HaMelech, the king could not sleep, doesn't mean that Ahasuerus could not sleep, but that God, the King of Kings, could not sleep. The Chronicle says that Mordecai was the one who saved him from Bigtan and Teresh's plot. King Ahasuerus rewards Mordecai by treating him like royalty and orders Haman to guide Mordecai around Persia on a royal horse dressed in royal garments.
Haman is ticked.
Next, Haman and Ahasuerus go to Esther's feast, and she says,
"Someone is trying to kill me and my people."
And Ahasuerus says,
"Who dares kill my wife?"
Haman! And Haman goes,
"Who, me?"
And Ahasuerus orders that Haman be hung. And then Ahasuerus appoints Mordecai to replace Haman as royal vizier. So I'm not bad, Jafar. But there is a complication in the lawmaking procedure in the kingdom. Mordecai and Esther are unable to rescind the law that Haman made ordering all the Jews' deaths, but they made a new law enabling the Jews to defend themselves. The fighting begins on the 14th day of Adar, and that's why we celebrate Purim on the 14th day of Adar. The Jews defend themselves, and Mordecai and Esther ask permission for the Jews of Shushan to have an extra day to defend themselves, which is why Shushan Purim is a day later. In walled cities, like Jerusalem, they celebrate Purim 1 day later than everyone else. Now here are some Purim traditions. During the reading of the Megillah, we use groggers to drown out Haman's name because Haman is a descendant of the nation of Amalek, and we are commanded to destroy the memory of Amalek. Another tradition is dressing up in costume, which symbolizes hiding our true identities because Esther hid her Jewish identity. Another tradition is making and eating hamantaschens, which are cookies in the shape of Haman's triangular hat. Also, we have mishloach manot, which are gift baskets for each other. This is us countering the accusation of Haman that the Jews are scattered and divided by giving each other gift baskets to show how we are united. And finally, we have matanot le'evyonim, gifts to the poor, to make sure that everyone can have a Purim feast and that everyone can celebrate the holiday. All this talk about mishloach manot and hamantaschens and feasts is making me hungry.
What are we doing for dinner?
My name is Esther. Yeah. And I am Jewish. Yeah. I live in Persia. Yeah. And I am fierce. Go, Esther. Go, Esther.